Woo! All right. We here. We live. ¿Cómo estás, people? ¿Cómo estás? Your boy just got back from a fucking jam-packed Sunday. It's been a crazy weekend. Helping out with the yoga teacher trainees. I mean, what else? It's just been a fucking jam-packed weekend. Some spicy margaritas were shared. I just literally rushed here from the fantastic Zulimar. Shout out Zulimar. Authentic Honduran food in my hometown. They always take care of you there. They got the Honduran coffee. That shit smacks. I'm such a coffee fucking fiend. So I love a good coffee, and they got that gush. It's like it literally tastes like Italian espresso. It's, if not, I mean, arguably like it's up there with some of the best espressos I've had. It's amazing. But it's just their traditional coffee. And yeah, you know, I had the Hondureño desayuno típico, which is just a typical Honduran breakfast. And yeah, that's why I'm out of breath. That's why I'm extremely full. I mean, even before that, like today alone, started with my girl Janessa's Sunday service class, and then rolled right into a noontime Kundalini cacao ceremony, which apparently is controversial to even take. I don't know, something about a closed practice, but I enjoyed it. The vibes were there. Had some cacao beans straight from Guatemala. I mean, I'm on 100 right now. I'm rocking the freaking yoga beads I got from my teacher training. Got my almost said Zulimar, my Latimar. I got my Eagles chain too, but that's tucked for obvious reasons. I mean, it's still on me. I still rep it. You know what? Fuck that. Let that shit hang, boy. Fly Eagles fly. We're gonna get a Super Bowl real soon. Don't even worry about that. But man, and then I mean, shit. What else happened this weekend? We had a fight card on Saturday. At this new MGM arena theater thing they got going on there. First event there. This fight night UFC headlined by Piotr Yan and Merab Davashvili. Lot of backstory on this one. A lot of like these are once again, I mean, I'm gonna sound like a broken record on this shit because once again, similar to like soccer and other sports as such, like tennis, these are all world sports, you know, one-on-one world sport. Well, not soccer, but, you know, 1v1 sports / you know, the world sports. And, you know, this headline, Piotr Yan, a Russian, taking on Merab Davashvili, who is a Georgian from, you know, the country of Georgia. And man, you just felt the tension going into this one. Their camps have had beef before this due to Aljamain Sterling, the current champion, took on Piotr Yan a few times at this point, or 2 times, and came out victorious both. First time, obviously, due to the not controversial, it was pretty blatant, the illegal knee that Aljamain suffered to Piotr Yan. That Piotr Yan was winning the fight too, but got disqualified for the illegal knee. And then he took him on in the rematch. Fucking Aljamain came correct, and he out-grappled Yan and was able to outpoint him and get a decision win. Piotr Yan has fallen to a little bit of a skid, and it's like so kind of came out of nowhere. I mean. Like, the dude has looked like a world beater. He's one of the most technically sound strikers there is in the game. He's very well balanced and well rounded in the sport. The guy has fantastic takedown defense, which comes into this fight that happened. I mean, but you got to have a different kind of takedown defense. Takedown defense is actually, I mean, it could even have been like to his, downfall in this fight, because it's so good that he was forced to work his ass off to stop these takedowns. Ended up, tiring his ass out real quick. Hence Merab's his nickname being the Machine. But now I'm just kind of getting ahead of myself here. But coming into this one, obvious tension between these guys. Like I said, the camps already have had their beefs. Merab was very vocal about being from Georgia. He's a very proud Georgian man. Very vocal about Russia as a country, like very political in this one. Russia being the oppressors of Georgia in the past, many just a lot of fucked up shit that I don't even know the details of, but just a fucked up history between the countries, and Merab voiced those opinions, but he doesn't hold animosity towards everybody. He even said himself that Russians come all the time to their country and enjoy their stay, and they enjoy the beautiful country that is Georgia for what it is, and he has no problem with Russians. But Pyotr Yan is kind of like, I didn't hear not too much from him, but apparently like there was definitely this tension of like, you felt the beef between the countries, like almost like a respect, a lack of respect thing between Pyotr Yan coming from Merab, pretty much just writing him off as, you know, that he wasn't going to be able to, you know, hang with him and all this other stuff. Like I said, he didn't really get too controversial with the politics, but it was really Merab voicing his opinions. And let me tell you something. Last week I made my picks for this one, and I loved all my picks, but I did feel some type of way about picking against Merab, and this is on the video. And the day of the fight, I did put out there on the social media that I was switching my pick to Merab because I felt Merab's energy. And this is the thing about the sport. Sometimes you just kind of like, you can't make a fight pick and be so confident with it like weeks out, or even a week out, or even 3 days out, or even a day out. Energy changes on a day-to-day basis, on a moment-to-moment basis. And Merab came into this with full confidence. So did Pyotr Yan. At the face-off, had a little bit of a shoving match. Pyotr Yan shoved Merab. Merab was not deterred. Something about Merab's energy coming into this one, I knew like he was really fighting for something deep-rooted. He's never had lack of effort in any of his fights, but there was just something a little bit extra about this one that made it very, very interesting. I mean, leading into the fight, Merab coming out, he was on fire, he was yelling, he had a mischievous smile on. I mean, this guy is one of the most like beautiful people too. You ever hear this guy talk? You see his social media. He's a good guy. And he's a goofball too, and he like loves to have fun. Apparently, he's a ladies' man. You know, the ladies love this guy, and I'm sure I see why. His energy is like, it's infectious. But something coming into this one, he knew that he was fighting for a bigger reason other than, you know, it's the UFC and his rankings. This really came down to the man versus the man. And you know, their past and their countries and all that came into play. A lot of Georgians in the crowd in this one, hanging up some Georgian flags, representing a lot of Georgian fighters in the UFC. Giga Chikadze, Dolidze, a few, just to name a couple. But Merab, like I said, the story of this fight, I mean, was Merab was a man on a mission, and he was relentless. Broke a record for most takedown attempts in a UFC fight. I think it was 48 takedown attempts, and he didn't even get like a good percentage of that. He got him down a few times, but nonetheless, he was throwing pretty well, to be honest. Very unorthodox style of striking, but just enough to land, takedown, and it just was. He overwhelmed Pyotr Yan. That's just the easiest way to sum it up. He overwhelmed Pyotr Yan. And Pyotr Yan, like I said, one of the most, you know, technically sound, well-rounded fighters there is in the UFC. I mean, the guy is a monster. He's one of those guys where it doesn't matter how many losses in a row he has. You're going to watch him fight. He's a fun guy to watch fight. But I'll be honest, you didn't see really anything. Merab really just neutralized Pyotr Yan's skills. He just straight took him out with his relentless pressure, his relentless takedown attempts, his relentless throwing of the hands and feet, was landing the low calf kick very well, immobilizing Pyotr Yan at times. Pyotr Yan, his eye was swollen up. It was just incredible. It was an incredible performance. And I can't say enough good things about it, and I'm extremely happy for Merab. This guy is like, he's like one of these guys where no matter who tries to hold him down or what, which I'm about to get into, he can't be held down. He's gonna prosper no matter what, because he has a strong mental mind state. He has a strong discipline when it comes to working on his craft, and he's just a workhorse. And they say in the gym, there's nothing like him. His name is the Machine for a reason. That's his nickname. The dude is an absolute machine. 25 minutes of being relentless, and at the end of that fight, he looked like he could have went another 25 minutes. And there's nobody in the UFC I could think of right now that is like that, other than like maybe Tony Ferguson in his prime was a guy that like just seemed like he never was going to run out of energy. I mean, and to this day, Tony still has that too. But you know, obviously, by the way, fight news with Tony Ferguson too. He's apparently taking on Kevin Lee for a second one, just to throw that out there. Very interesting. People that know me know that I like Tony Ferguson. I'm a huge fan of, always have been. But that's neither here nor there right now. This fight night belonged to Merab. Merab made a powerful statement on the mic after, basically saying, pray, you know, shouting out Ukraine. Not really, like, I don't think he wasn't talking shit to Russia, but he was just pretty much saying stop the war and stop the violence and stop all this shit. And he was pretty much preaching love, not war. And it was beautiful to hear. He was screaming at the top of his lungs. The emotion was there. It looked like he had tears in his eyes. The dude was just on a I was going to say on 100. He was on 1,000,000 times 1,000,000,000. I mean, the dude was just like full of energy, and oh my God, it was amazing to see. And I did not get to watch yet. It's been a busy weekend. I did not get to watch the Dana White press conference, but I saw the headline of Dana. Like, apparently he said that it would be a very foolish and bad choice for Merab not wanting to fight Aljamain, which is his teammate that he trains with, and they're literally brothers. Like, I mean, they lift each other up. That's 100%. They both are becoming better because of each other, and they just have made the conscious decision that they would never fight each other. Aljamain obviously being the champion. Aljamain also taking on Henry Cejudo very soon, so that's very interesting. If Aljamain wins that, he's still the champion. It's very controversial. Why would he ever let go of the belt to move up? But maybe he will, because I think at any point he could probably come back down and maybe let Merab do him. Who knows? I don't know how that's going to work out, but that was very disappointing. And honestly, Dana White gets a lot of shit, and I never really feel like a lot of the shit he gets is that deserved. But this is one of those times where I'm just like, come on, bro. Like, why are you like talking shit, like putting pressure to Merab to like make him like oh, it's a bad option if you're not going to fight like your best friend in your camp who's the champion. That's a really dumb option. It's like, bro, the dude just put on a fucking show of a lifetime. Just literally, they probably wanted Petr Yan to win because Petr Yan already has a following. But in my opinion, Merab has just won over the hearts of many. Anyone that was watching that fight. And in every fight he gets better. In every fight he lets his personality show more and more. And the guy is becoming a superstar, in my opinion. And it's undeniable. His English is getting better. And UFC, Dana White, don't drop the ball on this guy and fucking penalize this guy, because he deserves to be lifted up right now for what he just did to Petr Yan. And honestly, like I couldn't wait. It wasn't like the fight card was great and everything, but that main event just had so much meaning behind it, so much passion behind it, so much backstory behind it that a lot of people didn't even know. And like knowing where Merab comes from, very humble beginnings, Sambo wrestler from Georgia, wants to better his life, comes to America knowing absolutely nobody, comes over alone, looking to do MMA and find a gym. First gym he finds is some old person, like kickboxing to get in shape kind of gym, not even like real training type shit. And he was like starting to give up on his dreams, and then he found a good camp, and then from there it was all history. He just was undeniable since then, and I couldn't be happier for Merab. Man, if you know, he fights. And also, by the way, this camp out of Long Island, New York. Who knows? Maybe one day in the future, that's one guy I would love to just give his flowers to his face, or like have a conversation with, and just let him know that there's people like me that like have watched him from the beginning and have appreciated his story. And just like it's overwhelming, honestly. Like it was like almost emotional. Like it was everything. And goddamn, bro, UFC, do not fucking discipline this guy. Fucking lift him up and give him what he deserves, which is more spotlight, more everything. Yeah. And I guess like that's really all I have to say about that. Other than, I guess, like, there is a fight. Corey Sandhagen is going to take on Chito Vera, and that could potentially be a winner fights Merab. But then again, if Chito Vera wins, he kind of deserves a title shot too. So maybe even Merab ends up fighting Corey. Who knows? I wouldn't have no problem with Merab waiting for a title shot right now. Chito Vera as well. Huge Chito Vera fan. Cannot wait for that fight to happen and talk about Chito. Because Chito, very similar, like with the whole humble beginnings backstory coming from Ecuador and all that stuff. And is like literally has that yogi fucking energy and is just like inspirational in his own right. So, I mean, March is so fucking lit, bruh. So lit. And so is April, and I've got to say, things are happening. Dana White, I'm not feeling your energy lately, bro. You got to, I mean, I don't know if it's the slap boxing shit, whatever the fuck you got going on. You're kind of like, I feel like he's doing too much at once right now. You need to focus on, get back to the nitty gritty of, I mean, just the realness that is the sport and the reason why we all love it, for real. I have no problem with you trying to expand and make money because, I mean, I am a shareholder in the fucking UFC at this point, you know, through Endeavor, and I invested in Endeavor because of how much I believe in the sport of UFC and them being a part of it. So I'm just hoping that, you know, that doesn't matter, but I just mean, I'm just trying to make a point by saying that I love this sport, and the reason why I'm so passionate and invested into it is because of the roots of it and everything. I mean, MMA, it's a fucking sport as long as time. I mean, it's hand-to-hand combat, fucking, of all the arts, every martial art ever created in one. I mean, what's better? So we'll leave that there. There's some fights to talk about on this. The co-main event, Alexander Volkov took on Alexander Romanov. I picked Volkov in this. If you watched my short, and guess what? It's exactly what I kind of predicted. Romanov, overweight, great grappler, has had some exciting performances in the past, but Volkov, the more experienced, the more well-rounded, the more rangy, the taller striker. I just didn't see a way that Romanov was going to be able to best Volkov. Volkov's been in there with the best of them, and he's beat some of the best of them as well. Very close to title fight here and there, and still obviously showing valid efforts and being in the picture always. Yo, I love this right now. I'm like, I just got like back from outside, a little cold, and Bronson's just like sitting on my foot, like as a natural like foot warmer. Love it. Thank you, boy. I'll give him a quick pat. Thank you, boy. So yeah, shout out Alexander Volkov. He did exactly what he needed to do. Discarded of Romanov real easy, and it was very impressive. Before that was Nikita Krylov, Ryan Spann. This fight was the headline of a couple weeks ago that got canceled the night of because Krylov had weight cutting issues. He made weight, but the day of he was very sick and he couldn't pull out of it. Hey, take it easy. And so they scheduled it for a couple weeks later. Everything went fine this time. Both men came in like bat out of hell. I mean, this was an exciting matchup to begin with, and we got to see it come to fruition. And Ryan Spann, known for was that 30? Oh, okay. Ryan Spann famously came out not too long ago and said how he barely like has trained at all like to get where he is, and the dude is a monster. So everyone's like, oh, if this guy could just get serious and discipline and train, he's gonna be a beast. And I'll tell you what, Nikita Krylov, high level grappler, always brings the intensity. It's not an easy fight for anybody. And Ryan Spann looked very well, honestly. Like, you could see the training. You could see he said himself that he was going to take it more serious and train, and you saw that. His grappling exchanges were amazing. There was some amazing sequences here, some amazing reversals in this fight. But ultimately, Krylov did end up, I mean, the dude's a veteran. Like I said, amazing grappler, was able to find himself in dominant position, almost too dominant for Spann to fight. I mean, anyone to kind of fight out of, and was able to get the choke. And if I'm being honest, I'm not even sure that the choke was that serious for Spann to tap to. It was more just like the way that they came out in this fight was so like they both came out on 100 swinging and shooting and like I said, the sequences and the reversals, it was just so fast paced that you knew that they both were going to be extremely tired. So once Krylov had him in the slightest uncomfortable position, Jesus, I'm so full from the food. He was, I mean, Spann probably could barely even breathe at that point, the way, like, the pace that he was putting up, and just had the tap to probably do, like, sheer fucking, you know, exhaustion. So sucks for Spann, but I thought it was a good showing of his to show that he is very much getting better and I mean, maybe just got to slow it down and kind of balance yourself a little bit more, man, and you could be a problem. Ryan Spann could be a problem, and Krylov too. He kind of comes out a little too crazy too, and these are reasons why he goes up and then he loses and he goes up and then he loses. So these guys got to get themselves, you know, got to get balanced, got to get confident. It takes confidence to be able to be, you know, patient and fight a more strategic game plan other than just coming out wanting to steamroll people. So before this fight, guess what? I'm just like proud of myself right now, because this fight before, I don't know if you remember, Carrie, I said Said Nurmagomedov, amazing, highly talented prospect, taking on Jonathan Martinez. Jonathan Martinez, since this guy came in the UFC and I saw his fighting style, I always loved this guy, and I love Said too. But something about Jonathan Martinez, just like that, he has like the quintessential Mexican style fighter, but also like just takes it up a notch just by like how technically good he is. Like, he gets in firefights and it's so crisp and it's so just beautiful to watch, but he's not afraid to get hit and like dish it out, you know. You got to be willing to like take a hit to give a hit sometimes, and he's one of those guys, and I just love that, the tenacity and the grit that he has. And Said, more of like the technical standpoint of, he has the grappling as well, but also has the high level striking. And this one was seeming like Said was obviously the favorite here. I don't know if that was the ending odds. That seems a little closer than I remember it being, but minus 215 Said. I like that though. I hope that's what it was, because that shows the respect that Martinez deserved. Because I was expecting the odds to be a little bit even more. I mean, if I was a gambler back in the day, I would have took Martinez in this all day. I said Said was probably going to be the favorite. I chose Jonathan Martinez because I just had faith in the boy. And it was a fucking amazing 3-round to decisions. And he got a unanimous decision win. Martinez, man, I couldn't be like more proud as like a fan, and just for that that style of fight where he overcame some adversity, found himself on the ground, had to work himself up, was able to press Said against the cage and get some control time. He did what he had to do to get the win. It was a great fight to build his experience, and this guy's going places. The bantamweight division is on fire right now. Like I said, Aljamain's about to take on Henry Cejudo soon. Merab just got the win over fucking Petr Yan. Figueiredo is coming up from flyweight soon. We'll see what happens there. Who gets him? Who knows? Maybe, I bet you the UFC is going to probably want Merab to take on him or something. Like, they're just going to torture Merab, and that's going to piss me off. But yeah. So it was a fun night, man. I mean, like I said, those fights, all the like the whole main card, Mario Bautista, amazing performance as well, was able to get the win by submission first round. This dude also in his own right over Guido Canetti, who is Argentinian, that was also looking promising. So it was a big win for Mario, and you could hear in his voice in his post-fight press conference or post-fight interview that he's starting to break out of his shell and he's voicing himself. And I think he said he was willing to take Figgy on when he comes up to bantamweight. He said he wants a top 15. The dude's oozing confidence, and you see why. It was a fantastic performance, and I mean, Jesus Christ, I didn't know he was that much of a favorite. That's crazy. But I didn't see that. Canetti's, deserves a little more respect than that. Minus 950. I don't know if these are like closing odds or what it is, but that's pretty wild. But that's, I guess they knew something I didn't, because it was a dominant win, so it makes sense, I guess. But yeah, and I mean, it was, like I said, solid fight card. March is a fucking hell of a month. Next week we got UFC 286, Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman 3. highly anticipated rematch here. Kamaru Usman, considered the pound for pound number one before this loss, which he was winning the fight pretty well. Lost the first round, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Was winning the fifth, and then Leon Edwards, the classic, the corner in the fourth round. His corner just in his ear. Leon, what's wrong with you, man? Stop feeling sorry for yourself, Leon. I'm getting chills right now thinking about it, because just one of those moments where Leon's sitting there and he just looks defeated. He's like, fuck, I can't, I'm tired. This guy is relentless. I got nothing going for me right now. It was starting to give up on himself, and the corner was just right in his face, like, stop feeling sorry for yourself. And man, I wish we could play it, but it's not even. I'm sure everyone's already seen it at this point, and if not, just go Google it. Go YouTube, Leon Edwards corner, Kamaru knockout, whatever. That's all you got to type in. And it was like one of the most inspirational corner moments. And Leon pulls it out the fire. Oh my God! Wait, stop. Take it easy. And finds the moment. Headshot, bang, as he said in the interview. Fucking head kick that put Kamaru's lights out. One of the most amazing moments in the sport's history. And here we go, coming back to the O2 Arena in England. First one was not in England, so now they're giving Leon his first title defense as a rematch against one of the best ever, Kamaru Usman, in his home turf, in Leon's home turf. Man. And I'm going to do my picks after this. We're going to get the picks out. But I can't believe that this is this weekend. This is crazy. I'm getting chills for real. And then the co-main event, pretty sure it's Justin Gaethje, Rafael. No. Whoa. Oh, yeah. Justin Gaethje, Rafael FIVIEV. I can't wait to make my picks on this. Jesus Christ. Justin Gaethje. When you hear that name, it doesn't matter if he's the prelims or what. You still buy the fucking pay-per-view, because Justin Gaethje's must-see TV. He would never be a prelim anymore. He's a headliner. He's a main carder. He's a pay-per-view guy. He's must-see TV. Rafael FIVIEV. Just a little early peek into my picks. I got to say, as of right now, my mood changes. Like I said, sometimes you see their energy in fight week. You never know. I'm leaning Rafael FIVIEV. I think that Justin Gaethje is dangerous as they come. I think he throws caution to the wind. I think he is more technical than people give him credit for. I think his takedown defense is sound. I think he has takedowns in his thing that he never uses. But I just think that Rafael FIVIEV is more of a patient guy and is also dangerous in his own right. But his patience, I think, gets it done. That's just a little peek into my, which I'll say again in my picks when I do them. We'll make a short on that. Gunnar Nelson taking on Ryan Barberena in this one. Gunnar, always fun when Gunnar Nelson fights. Gunnar Nelson, big fan favorite. Brian Bam Bam Barberena. Bam Bam for a reason. The dude is just, throws the hands. He's a fucking smash kind of guy. Fun matchup there. Great one for a main card. It's gonna deliver. I can tell you that right now. Go back. Down. Jennifer Maia, Casey O'Neill. This just got upgraded to the main card. I like it. Two highly talented women. Casey O'Neill, the prospect, making her way up. Jennifer Maia had a great showing in her last fight. Jennifer Maia coming in the underdog. A lot of respect going to Casey O'Neill. I got to say, I'm kind of leaning Casey too, but you can never sleep on Jennifer Maia. And then this fucking card is starting with Marvin Vettori and Roman Dolidze, one of the other Georgian fighters I've mentioned before. Dolidze coming off a fucking fantastic submission over Jack Hermanson. One of the coolest submissions I've ever seen. Oh, Jack Shore is on this one, taking on Makwan Amir Khani. Stop it right now. Bro. That's potential fight of the night shit right there, or performance of the night, either or. Both guys are fucking fun as hell to watch. That has fireworks written all on it. That's crazy odds too. Keep going down. Muhammad Makayev. This dude only fights in the UK apparently these days. They just love putting him on a UK card. I think he's only fought in UK so far. He might have one fight in at the Apex though. Yeah, man, Jake Hadley, Malcolm Gordon. That's going to be so fun. I love Jake Hadley. Go down. Joe Calderwood. Luana Carolina, the Brazilian. Jai Herbert. This guy always fights in London too. Fun stuff. Juliana Miller. Not familiar, but taking on Veronica Machado. UFC. I see what you did there. Little eye candy fight right there. Bunch of cuties. But I'll tell you what. That's no disrespect, because if you're fucking in the UFC, you're fucking high level anyway. Veronica, she just like, I used to love this girl. She's highly talented in the jiu-jitsu game, but she's just not well-rounded enough, and also kind of undersized usually against these other people. Reasons why she's coming in as a big underdog. Kind of on a little bit of a skid. Famously dating Dan Hardy right now. They have their own podcast, so shout out them. But either way, I mean, two beautiful killers going at it in this one, so love to see it. See, 3 inches shorter. Yeah, but she's like, she speaks multiple languages. 6-4. She came in like 6-0. That's like, that goes to show you, like, she's just, every time she had to like fight someone with like a decent amount of talent, she's fallen short. But no pun intended to her shortness. Yeah, so I mean, what are we at right there? What's that, like around, what are we at, like around 30 or something? Okay, yeah, so this is, hey, come on, Jesus Christ, hold on. You want a little cameo? I think he wants to get on the podcast. Hold on. One time. Oh. Bro, tell me, what is going on with you and your brother right now? Why are you beefing with your brother so much? All right. Children. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much sums it up right there. I mean, I was excited to come do this. Thank you so much to my fantastic friend over here / producer extraordinaire. Kind enough to fucking once again, on like with some time restraints, come in and help me and get this one done, because this felt like one that needed to be done. Last podcast did pretty well too. I don't know if you checked it out. Like, not bad. I mean, like I said, it's a big month, a lot of big headlines, pay-per-view week. It's a busy time for the sport. So reasons why, it's good to stay consistent, and I'm happy we're able to get this one done. I'm feeling extremely grateful lately, extremely just, I don't know. I'm just really like finding a little stride of like, happiness lately, and I couldn't ask for more. And I hope the same for each and every one of you. If you're going through anything tough, just literally, I've been saying it like the whole time, as cliche and corny as it is to say, don't dwell in your shit. Look forward, put one foot in front of the other, and make your way. You know what you need to do. Just whether it's go for a walk, whether it's go outside, whether it's whatever, listen to music, play music, whatever brings you joy and happiness, do it. Yeah, and don't feel sorry for yourself. Like Leon Edwards' corner told him, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Try harder, and shortly, what do they say? Surely you will find yourself in a better place if you just continue to do what you know you need to do. So, and with that, this has been another episode of Caution to the Airwaves. Thank you for tuning in. Don't stop tuning in. Follow Instagram at Caution to the Airwaves. Follow Twitter at Caution to the Airwaves. I'm going to make my picks right now. That'll be posted on Wednesday. Yeah, so we cue the music. Peace and love to everybody. See you next week after this fantastic card that is UFC 286 in the O2 Arena. Peace!